Welcome to Meet the Author live from book publisher New Degree Press and the Creator Institute. New Degree Press or NDP. I'm your host, John Saunders of the podcast, The Creator Community, and this is a chance for everyone out there, our listeners and our audience, to get to know the authors that have put these books out there. NDP is part of Manuscript, which is Manuscripts Inc., which is the oversight or the parent company to the Creator Institute and New Degree Press. This enterprise has now published authors on 6 continents and ranked 293 on the Inc. 5000 list this past year, which is incredible. This is the fastest growing 5,000 companies in America. If you think you have a book in you, check out the creator.institute or visit newdegreepress.com. The next cohort starts in late May. Never write alone. Meet the Author is the opportunity to Meet the Author Live is an opportunity to learn everything valuable there is to know about the author, and we can answer your questions live in the chat. Today with me, Steven Mezzacappa. He published his book in September 2021, and now has his audiobook coming out that just came out as well. Steven, great to see you. Thanks for joining me today.
Likewise, John. Thanks for having me on. Love how you preface it too. It's been great to be part of the Creator Institute, New Degree Press, and see it skyrocket like it has. I tell all my friends who want to write books I follow them right to New Degree Press because it was a great program for me. Wouldn't be able to do it without your team.
Well, I appreciate that. And if you know anyone on Antarctica, that's the only continent we're missing so far, let me know. We'd love
to. We could find someone up there
and get their book published. So, Steven, you're an engineer. You've been at it in the construction/engineering work, business development for a number of years. What's been happening to you since your book came out this past fall?
Yeah, it's funny. A lot's happened since I published my book, and I was actually just reflecting on it the other day. I was hoping to be doing book tours and things like that by now, but writing my book ended up causing a chain reaction in my life of making big steps and big decisions to step towards where I feel God has been leading me for a long time. One of those, I recently got engaged, which has been great.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. That's really excited about that. Again, my fiance, we're getting ready to move to Florida. Getting ready to go back to grad school, and also transitioned careers. I spent a number of years with Turner Construction in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, loved it. And opportunity came to step into a nonprofit role with the organization I used to work with volunteer with for a while. And now I'm their development director. So I'm getting involved in more fundraising. So there's just been a lot going on. And it's been a journey to try to still keep the book relevant, right? Promote it. But it's a lot of the things I write about, I feel like I'm being tested to live out now, and I kind of feel as though that was part of the reason why God had me write this book first to, put it to test, live it out, and carry it forward. It's really excited for the things that are on the horizon.
What was the inspiration to join this new company?
Yeah, so it's a long story. I'll try to keep it somewhat summarized for LinkedIn Live. But the organization I work with now, it's called Engineers in Action. And my book actually wouldn't have been written without my experiences as a college student volunteering with this organization, and also with my experiences with Turner. What I like to say is that my experience with Turner taught me about what it means to have practical leadership and make a tangible difference, right? And my involvement with Engineers in Action as a student really taught me what it means to serve. And in tying it together, I feel as though God taught me how to really relate with people and empathize and have compassion for the human heart. So all those synergies together resulted in what this book became building a life of fulfillment, destiny, and impact by channeling that passion within you. Because that's really how we make a difference. It's not just about helping someone get from point A to point B behaviorally. It's how do we instill inspiration in someone and empower them to go from point A to point B? How do we have that impact at the heart level so they could carry it forward? So all of my experiences with Turner, Engineers in Action, and my faith really came to life, and as a culmination of what this book came to be. And actually, I'm going with the next book that I really want to work on.
That's awesome. So you left your career at Turner Construction. You were there for a number of years and joined Engineers in Action, which is more of a purpose-based mission organization.
Correct. Yeah. So what we do is we work with impoverished nations abroad. We work in Bolivia, South Africa, and also, Eswatini, South Africa, and South Bolivia, in Bolivia and South America. And we do multiple different projects. We focus on water and sanitation projects for communities in need. And we also build pedestrian footbridges for communities in need that are isolated from essential needs. And the way we operate with a lot of university students and university chapters. So it's purpose-based. It's an opportunity to really mentor students throughout the process as well, kind of give back so students can have some similar experience that I have. And part of my role is to get more companies and organizations involved in the work that we do and the mission that we do. I'm really passionate about partnerships, making connections to really propel a mission forward. And between, the things I'm working on with my book and with Engineers in Action, it's really bringing to life a lot of things that I'm passionate about.
And was this the organization you volunteered with when you were in school?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. It was under a different name at the time. It was called Bridges to Prosperity, a sister organization to Engineers in Action. And I actually write about my experiences in part 3 of my book and how my experiences in the organization channel what I call the passion with purpose model. It's the triangle, and it's the 3 components of how you instill passion within yourself and others. That was that triangle I talk about. And if you find it in my book, again, that is really comes from what I've learned at Turner and coming together with what I've learned with Engineers in Action.
Passion with Purpose, the fire within, building a life of fulfillment, destiny, and impact. It's available wherever you buy books online. And the audiobook is out now, right? That just came out, Steven?
Yeah, it just came out last week, just in time for my birthday. I published on my birthday last year, and it took me a year to get the audiobook out because it took some time to get the audiobook put together. But it was a fun experience. Really excited that I got to narrate it myself, and bring some emotion to the book, because I do write about my personal life in the book. And I talk about some of my struggles with mental health, where I got to where I'm at now. It's a really authentic and vulnerable book for me. So for me to narrate it is great to put the human element into the text.
So the book came out in the spring, the hardcover came out in the fall, and now the audiobook back out this spring.
Yep.
Unbelievable. What was it like reading your book for so many hours out loud?
Oh, it was a painstaking process. Well, the funny thing is I live in downtown Pittsburgh, so you would never realize how noisy it is. The sound would pick up everything, and it'd be like 10 o'clock at night, and I'd be recording thinking it'd be everything fine. The motorcycle just shoots by, and I'm like, all right, I got to pause and we do it over again. But it was good patience. I caught a few typos. I won't forget, which was funny, but it was cool to read it back. I really enjoyed, because even when I'm writing, I'm not speaking out loud as I would write the text, right? So speaking it and hearing it, especially when I open up about some of my past struggles, was emotional at times. But it was great because I was able to kind of put the emphasis where it needs to be throughout the whole book.
I know you really took a very vulnerable stance in your book about talking about sharing some of your struggles with mental health. Steven, what do you want listeners to know about your journey there?
Yeah. Oh, there's so much. I think the biggest thing is, I think being vulnerable and looking at it, something that you could overcome is a huge step. I think it's easy to come under a bout with mental health and think, oh, I might be here forever. But going in with a victor mindset, knowing you can come out of it. But it's really important to get help. And I got plenty of help towards the end of college and early in my career, which helped. And now being on the other side of it, looking back, not with, regret that I walked through certain things, but with gratitude, because walking through those experiences have really propelled me forward as a person, as a fiance to my fiance, and even in my career. Like, my whole perspective of life, it has changed because of it. And I feel as though I can empathize with people better. I feel as though I could be a better leader. So I think culture might tell us to run away from our struggles, but face it, stare it on. Like, there's a reason why it's happening in your life, and there's something to work through, and it's possible to overcome it. And you're going to be a better person, a better leader for it.
Don't regret it. Show gratitude for it. Any challenges that you faced. What a powerful statement to make. Thank you for sharing that. You're doing a giveaway for your new audiobook. Is that right, Steven?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I have I have a series of codes I could give away for people to get a free version of the audiobook. And so if you kind of subscribe to my newsletter, I would love to pick a select few at random to get to audiobook, and you can use it for yourself. You could share for a friend. We'll probably drop the link in the LinkedIn post. If not, we can always comment back on this post and put it there. But if you subscribe to my newsletter, I'm going to select a few folks to get the free version of the audiobook. But yeah, there we go. There's the link right there. So, definitely love for you to check out the audiobook as well. It's on Amazon, Audible, all the above, pretty much.
It's crazy how long it can take to do one of these audiobooks, right?
It took me the whole year. And it's funny. They were messaging me like weekly. I'm like, it's coming, because I try to get it done before Thanksgiving. Total fail. Then Christmas, because that's when I had the transition in my career happen around New Year's. So I was transitioning to a new career, right? I was, planning to get engaged. So there was a lot of life stuff going on, like getting ready to move. So yeah, that alone made it pretty difficult, but it took some time, but it was worth it. Now I'll have it forever. It's cool. I could kind of trim it up and share it with people. And I have family. I've told them, look, I don't read, but I'll listen to the audiobook when it comes out. So I'm really glad I did the audiobook version.
I had a number of friends who did the same. They travel, spend a lot of time on the road. And so we're very much into, or on treadmills or things like this. So they were into the audiobook. So glad to have it out there. Well, congratulations on getting a ebook, paperback book, hardcover book, and now audiobook out there, however people like to consume their content. And if they, it's available. And if they want to connect their passion and purpose and better understand it and how to embrace it and really bring it into their lives in a more meaningful way, I think this is a great book for you. Steven, what did we miss out on before we jump into our questions where we're going to learn everything about you we need to know?
I think some other things that I really like to talk about in my book that's kind of different is I think we live in a culture that talks a lot about following your passion. But, I like to look at passion as not something that you follow or that it's just a noun, but it's really a living verb. It's something within you that you could cultivate and foster, right? And this I even share this message with people my age, people younger, even older, right? We're told to follow what you love, but the reality is life gets difficult. There's difficulties in life, and you could be following your passion or doing what you feel led to do. But what happens when the going gets tough? Do you quit? Do you give up? Or do you channel this energy inside of you to meet that adversity and inspire people along the way? And that's really what my book is all about. It's about building passion within yourself and within others. And I look at it from a theological perspective, because when it's God that's really channeling the energy within us, propelling us forward, that's what's going to make a difference.
It's a great point. Before we dive into the questions, Steven, for someone who's feeling a bit stuck right now and figuring, what is my passion? What is my purpose? Where would you tell them to start?
Yeah, I'll tell them to talk to someone about it, because I think you could get stuck in your head and you could just dance around for a long time. So talk to someone about it. You could reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you about it. Even someone in your network, someone that you trust. The biggest thing is talking to someone that you trust, because they'll try to inject their own things. But you want to talk to someone that's willing to listen, hear it loud, and kind of just ask you their questions to know where you want to go, right? I think starting with your interests is important. I think, leaning on your faith, if you come from a background of faith, leaning on that is probably the best thing that you could possibly do. But looking at this question in community is huge with people that you trust and people that know a little bit about you. And I don't think you have to ask everyone this question, right? But I think having a select few people in your cohort can really help you on that journey. It's a very intimate, very personal journey. So I always tell people, be careful who you let in, right? Because that can have either a good or negative impact.
But start to verbalize it, start to communicate it so you can better understand it, so you're not just stuck up here, right? I appreciate that.
Yeah, because then you become paralyzed. I've been there. I've been paralyzed and I don't do anything. And then I'm like, then I feel sorry for myself. And that's not going to get you where you got to go. It's just even if you have to crawl forward, it's moving in the right direction.
That is awesome advice. So we're about to jump into the rapid fire questions here. Learn everything important there is to know about Steven Mezzacappa. Let's bring this guy to life. This is what the show is about. Meet the Author Live is about getting to understand the author behind this book. And Steven's book, Passion with Purpose, The Fire Within, Building a Life of Fulfillment, Destiny, and Impact, is available wherever you buy books. And now the audiobook is out there as well. You can get it in any version you want. And if you want to hear a longer form version of Steven's conversation here, he was on the Creator Community Podcast, season 1, I think.
Season 1.
Season 1, yeah.
Well, this summer, I think.
Look at you in the inaugural season. I love it. So a much longer form version of his conversation there that we had a great chat about his book and his journey as well. That's available on YouTube, Apple, wherever you consume your podcasts out there. So, Steven, are we ready? Should we jump in here, buddy?
Let's do it. I'm curious what the questions are.
First and really most important question. Best sandwich. I think that's, this is.
Oh, yeah. That's easy. And I'm excited because I'm going home to New York pretty soon. I'm going to have it. But it's a hero, right? Not a hoagie like some or a sub that people, but it's a hero. And it's fried eggplant, mozzarella, and prosciutto with the vinegar glaze and a little bit of olive oil on a hero, foot long. You will not regret it. I'm telling you. And don't get the prosciutto. Get the expensive prosciutto. It's worth it. Fried eggplant, mozzarella, prosciutto. Very good.
I think Carlo Mafuz here is congratulating your sandwich, or just you in general. I'm not sure exactly, but
appreciate it, Carlo.
That is fantastic. I love that one. The Italian sandwich, definitely a favorite of mine. You're in the Pittsburgh area, right?
I am, yes.
Can you help me and the listeners understand why I didn't know this was a thing until I traveled to the Pittsburgh area? How do French fries show up in a sandwich? Where did that come from?
Oh, Permani Bros. They're a good sandwich place, let me tell you. And not only that, they'll do Pittsburgh salads and they'll put French fries on the salad. So
on everything.
French fries, without feeling guilty about it. But Primanti Bros, they got some good stuff. They got a great gabagol sandwich with French fries on it and lettuce. Highly recommend, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, check out Primanti Bros.
And I've noticed actually that concept, this French fries on everything concept inside your burger, on your salad. Bled over the state line into Eastern Ohio, I found in my travels. There was a number of years where I traveled in and around that part of the country. Steven, favorite color?
Blue. Penn State blue to be specific, but I love the shades, but Penn State blue all the way.
Happy Valley had what a beautiful spot. Kind of a little bit of a remote location, but boy, is it gorgeous.
It's like its own city. And Penn State had a huge impact on my life too. That's where I did my undergrad, started architectural engineering. And that had a huge impact on me and so many things. So my mom, I actually graduated yesterday. It's 5 years to the day yesterday. My mom was sending me pictures. So all the nostalgia is fresh in my soul right now.
Congratulations.
Those 5 years went so fast.
I had the great privilege one time to get an insider's tour of the Penn State football stadium, the athletic facility, the library. What else do we see? Oh, the creamery, of course. It was
creamery.
As a guy,
I'm jealous. I never got to do any of those things.
It was a particular unique event, thanks to Mike Gooman, the former Penn State star running back in the early 80s. This was an event he hosted that I got to attend. He and I used to work together. I have to tell you, and this is coming from a Wisconsin Badger, so I other Big Ten schools to me are no good, right?
I understand.
And I was about ready to make a donation to the school after the end of that tour. I was like, this place is pretty good.
They do a good job. Yeah,
it was impressive.
They do a good job, especially me now working in development. I definitely observe Penn State and how they do it, because they do a great job.
I was particularly impressed with how they really, groom these young players to be men and, not just great football players, but great members of society. And that really came through in the presentation and our little visit. I was really impressed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Steven, favorite vacation spot or most memorable?
It's funny. I haven't been on a vacation in a long time, because when I worked for Turner, a lot of my vacations that I took was actually volunteer with the organization I now work with. So, but I won't use that as a vacation spot. But I always loved going on cruises. Love going on cruises. Hopefully soon be able to go on a cruise again. But maybe Florida, where I'll be living, will be the forever vacation spot. That's kind of what I'm banking on.
What part of Florida are you moving to?
We're moving to downtown West Palm Beach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I lived just outside of Orlando for a number of years.
Oh, great. Okay.
Having a flip-flop tan on your feet in December is not the worst thing in the world. I always annoyed my sister who lives in Minnesota. Scariest animal for you, my friend?
Oh, I know alligators is coming to mind. Not mine, but it's my fiance's favorite. But for me, I'm trying to think, snakes. I'm not a big fan of snakes. Sharks, probably a little scared of sharks. Usually the smaller guys, that you can't control. Sharks are pretty big. But those are, off the top of my head, those are some of them.
There's a magical moment when you first moved to Florida where you're around somewhere near a body of water, a lake. It seemed to happen on golf courses a lot when I was living down there. And you'll just be minding your own business. All of a sudden you hear like something smack the water and you look over and there's an 8-foot alligator. You're like, hey, I'm just going to stay over here. Better fruit, Steven, apples or bananas?
Oh man, it depends on the apple. But Honeycrisp apples, absolutely. But I would pick bananas over apples. But if it's Honeycrisp apple, easily Honeycrisp apple over.
Wow, I think you're the first person who's answered that exactly right, in my opinion. Exactly
really?
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. A quick funny story. When I was at Penn State, I only thought there were red apples and green apples. And I was talking to someone at the CrossFit gym and they were talking about Honeycrisp apples. I'm like, what's that? What did Ethan say? Don't look up the kinds of snakes that live. Ethan is who I work with at Engineers in Action. I'm going to Africa in August. So good to know, Ethan. I'm going to avoid that part of the document for the orientation to Eswatini.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
First one that comes to mind, Dark Knight, by Batman. One of those, yeah. But I also love rom-coms. Actually, just watched You've Got Mail the other night with Tom Hanks. Fantastic movie. Love those romantic movies too, but definitely love those type of movies.
Softy at heart. I love it.
Oh, without a doubt. That's like my guilty pleasures: Ben and Jerry's, cookies, and a romantic movie.
Nice.
Right to the soul.
Favorite smell?
Favorite smell? I've never thought of that. Oh, it's gotta be dinner. Like going back to childhood, like Sunday dinner. That's the favorite smell. Walk in, you smell the meatballs frying up. That's definitely the favorite smell.
I love that.
I feel like it turned into a cologne, Just kidding.
I think for me, it's probably bacon and coffee in the morning, coming down Saturday morning.
It's fantastic.
That smell hitting you. Last photo on your phone.
I don't even know. Let me see. Honestly, I think it's actually a screenshot of me promoting this. But other than that, oh yeah, this is the last photo on my phone. There we go. Where is it? Me promoting this in fashion. But the other one, which is actually better, this is the real last photo. Here's Toby.
The dog. Nice.
Toby. Yeah, there he is. That's that.
I recall he spent a lot of time under your desk when you were writing your book.
Oh my God. It would be great. Yeah, because I was actually coming to the deadline of my book and I was running out of time. So I literally had to wake up at like between 3 and 5 a.m. for the last 2 weeks to finish the book. And he'd be on bed with me, and eventually he'd follow me into the living room, and he would either be at the couch next to me or on the floor. And I was like, "Thanks for being in the struggle with me, man." Like he was there throughout the whole process.
He knew you were doing something important and wanted to be there to support you. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Favorite song to sing with or without an audience?
Oh man, I don't know. There's a song I've been singing back left and right. There's this like techno song. I think it's called Pepas, P-E-P-A-S. But yeah, it's like that's like the one that's like on my mind. It's like one of those songs, which is fun. I just kind of sing the melody out loud.
Nice. Best part about being an engineer?
I'd say the opportunity to make a difference, and I'll go on a tangent right here quickly, is that, because you look at the profession, especially in high school, and you see it as a way to kind of build the cool buildings that we see all around us, right? But I think what's really special about it is the opportunity to really have a tangible difference for communities in need. So being a part of an organization like Engineers in Action, even as a student, going to build an engineered footbridge for community in need, that to me sums up what it's really special about. One of my favorite things about being an engineer, having the tools and the empowerment to make a tangible difference for those that really can't.
That's really
cool. And solving problems is a big part of it.
That's it. And solving problems for others. That's awesome. What's one thing you should really throw out?
Mm-hmm. Throw out. I'm actually just cleaning out my whole apartment. So I have like, people say I have like one junk drawer. I probably have like 3 of them. So everything in the 3 junk drawers needs to get thrown out.
I need to connect you with our amazing nanny we had in Florida, who, when she would have like extra time after the kids would go to sleep, she would reorganize our drawers, and we'd come home and they'd be all amazing. She'd put little Tupperware things in there and have it all organized. We're like,
that's amazing.
Like, I hope you don't mind. We're like, can you do that again?
We need that. Yeah, we need. You wouldn't believe the things I found, because I really haven't cleaned out my apartment for like 5 years. So I have things so old. It's just, all right, time to move on. Something fresh once we're in Florida. We don't want to bring things that are long gone,
Yeah, don't make the little mistake we did, which was when we moved up here from Florida, we brought all this stuff up. We paid to ship it, only to like take it to the Goodwill. I was like, did we really need to do that?
Yeah, we have plenty of clothes that we're donating to. There's like 3 bags right over there. So we have a lot that we're donating to.
Nice. Most audacious goal for 2022?
2022. So I would say, 2022. I was going to say getting married, but that's in 2023. So I think for 2022, I'd say for me personally, it's doing well with my current role at Engineers in Action, and really getting us into a position of fundraising. So if anyone's on a call, you could be a part of that with me. But I'd say my most audacious goal is really getting us into a great position financially as a nonprofit, as we continue to build more bridges and support more communities in need. What
would an ideal partner to Engineers in Action look like?
Yeah, so it depends. So you could be a personal person or a professional. If you're just an individual, you could always support by giving, but there's also opportunities to travel and be a part of these bridge projects. You could reach out to me directly on LinkedIn if you're interested in that. And as companies, you could go on these projects as well, or you could recruit some of the best talent that goes through the program. And that's actually one thing I'm working on right now is how to get companies in front of the students and students in front of the companies to have these great partnership programs to build this diverse pipeline of really emotionally intelligent engineers into the industry.
That is awesome. Favorite? Sorry. Have you ever asked someone for their autograph, and who was it?
I definitely have. I think
now that you've went through the pre-sale and signed a couple hundred copies yourself, right?
Yeah, the one that's coming to mind immediately is Alex Rodriguez. So I went to see opening day.
The baseball player?
The baseball player. So going back, I was probably in high school. My mom and I went to go see opening day Red Sox Yankees. We're Yankee fans from New York. So we went to the Ritz-Carlton in Boston to, for lack of a better word, kind of stalk the Yankees, try to meet them and stuff, right? So some players came in, and Alex Rodriguez walked in, and we followed him into the elevator. And I looking back, I'm like, yeah, that probably wasn't the best thing to do. All the fans did too, but he didn't even look at us. So he didn't sign any autographs. Probably because we literally followed him into the elevator. Looking back, I was like, yeah, sorry, man. Alex, if you ever see this, we're sorry. We were just excited. I was 14, but yeah, missed opportunity there, but maybe in the future.
As life has often funny ironies and parallels, I rode that same elevator with Shaquille O'Neal one time, which was really fun. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was up there for a conference.
Did the elevator move a little slower? Like, it's because he's tall. He's a big guy.
He did duck his head to get on the elevator, which I'll never forget, watching him just sort of snuck down. But what a great guy. Couldn't have been more curious. When you think about your book, Steven, if you have it handy, and remember, what is your favorite praise quote you got for it?
Oh, I think I know the individual. There's a couple different ones. The one that's coming to mind is actually wasn't on the book, but came from the book, a comment through someone from Penn State. And I put it on my website. So it's not exactly, but it meant a lot to me. He was the associate vice president of student affairs at Penn State. And I got to know him over the last couple of years. And he just made the comment of me being one of the best service leaders he's ever worked with at the school. And that meant a lot to me because service has always been important to me, especially at Penn State. And that was a legacy I really hope to really instill and leave behind. So once he commented on a Facebook post about my book about that, and he said his books are going to be greatness, that is what really, really meant a lot to me.
That's awesome. Most unique moment or memorable in your writing journey?
This is actually a funny story. I'll share it briefly. I'll never forget it. It was probably the summer of writing, and it was a Saturday. And I was trying to get it done. I really wanted to get a couple chapters done, and I just couldn't focus because my girlfriend at the time, was watching Survivor all day, and I got hooked. Never watched the show, got hooked, and I ended up getting nothing done. So I was kind of bitter and upset about it. So it was a funny, memorable experience because I was falling so behind. But I don't regret it because now I'm obsessed with Survivor. And if CBS is watching, my fiance Tristan would be the best cast you'd ever seen. I'd also do that, but she would be the best cast ever. So if CBS, you ever see the Survivor, definitely give her a shot. But yeah, that was a really fun memory. I fell behind, but it was worth it.
If you ever want to get a big project done, write a book because it'll inspire you if you get writer's block to go do anything else in your life.
Anything else you want,
like clean your house or your apartment or whatever.
I mean, I always knew I was a procrastinator. This made me realize that I am big time, very bad procrastinator. So yeah, that made it put it point clear, but it almost reinforced it because I still got it done. So you know what I mean? Make it still.
But you focused on the mission. You focused on helping others. You focused, and I think the coaches and the guidelines really helped you get through it. And you found a way to get it done on your own schedule, albeit waking up a bit early in the morning for a number of weeks. Yeah, but you found a way.
But it hit the nail on the head. If I didn't have people leading me, even the other authors I met through New Degree Press, I still keep in touch with to this day. That really helped. I think the new slogan is "Never write alone" for New Degree Press. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's so true because you fantasize oh, I'm going to be at the beach in a nice little cabin writing a book by myself. It doesn't work that way. It's really people challenging each other, bringing out the creativeness in you, and having the coaches and the empowerment there to guide you forward, even when you want to give up on yourself. I had so many amazing editors that really helped me, had a huge impact on me.
That it's such a big support system, and not only the professional staff to help you out, but the community that you're involved in. It's a cohort system. The next cohort starts in late May. If you're interested and think you have a book in you, visit the creator.institute and reach out to us. We're happy to talk to you about your story and see where it might land. 2 more questions, Steven, and we'll wrap it up here. What would you say to those considering writing a book?
I would say go for it. I was talking to a friend the other day. He wants to write about bees. I'm like, dude, you got to go for it. Because you just never know where it's going to lead you on the journey. But if you do want to write a book, I really would start with Creator Institute. And I'm not just plugging it because we're having this conversation. I think it is. I've tried a multitude of different avenues to publish my first book. And I don't think it would have happened any other way with New Degree Press. They just help you with everything. They have, now it's probably 3 years since I've done it. So I can only imagine how much you guys have innovated. But it's so accessible. It's literally free. You have to pay editor dues up front to start. So if you have a book in you, reach out to New Degree Press, Creator Institute, or they may be happy to kind of talk you through it too. But if you are thinking about it, there's probably a reason why you're thinking about it. And I forget the stats on it. There's a lot of people that want to become authors that end up not going through the process. But it's worth it. And even if it's only one person that benefits from your book, it's worth it. Even if you're the one that benefits from it, it's huge. Because right now I feel as though I'm the one that's benefited most from reading back what I've written, because it's empowered me and inspired me to make these crazy life decisions. I don't say crazy, but really monumental life decisions to step into where I feel God's been leading me for quite some time.
It's one of the things I often hear on the podcast interviewing people, and now we're into we're about to put out season 4, believe it or not.
Wow.
Is I really wrote this book first for myself. So many times I've heard that, and so many people go through the journey, and just by simply putting their thoughts on paper and being guided and coached to put them in a very succinct fashion helps them really sort out whatever it is they're thinking about or dealing with or trying to express to others. And I heard one amazing author recently, the last interview from last season, talked about how it not only helped her, she's an executive coach, has been for years, she coaches CEOs. And she talked about the fact that it not only helped, it helped her think immensely more clearly about what it is she does and how she does it, but it actually helped her accelerate her process for helping others. So she's actually been able to help people faster, which is really, I thought that was really interesting.
Wow.
Last question, Steven, describe your writing journey in 5 words, if you would.
In 5 words, a passionate wrestling match. I think that's like 4. Well, yeah, 4. So we'll take
it. a passionate wrestling match. Is that what I heard?
Wrestling match. Yeah. Just like, and I talk about that. It was like a wrestling match, and it was passionate. It was very much full on, like it was give and take. It was a wrestling match. What a great journey nonetheless. Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, Steven's book, Passion with Purpose, is available today wherever you buy books online. Whatever type of book you like, whatever version of books you like to buy, ebook, paperback, hardcover, and now audiobook. If you visit Steven's website, you can sign up to try to get one for free, passionwithpurpose.org, a link in bio. Check it out and get a free copy. Try to get a free copy of Steven's audiobook. Thank you so much for listening in. The season 4 of the Creator Community is going to go live in about 2 weeks. So check that out on our YouTube channel, the Creator Community, or wherever you consume podcasts out there, and go out and check out Steven's book today and figure out, better find your passion with purpose and a new path forward. Steven, thank you so much for being on the show. Great to see you today.
Likewise, John. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thanks to all our listeners. If you could stick around for one more minute, but thanks for everyone for listening in today. Oh, we've got one more comment in the chat here. Who's this? Tristan.
That's my fiance. Love you, Tris.
That is sweet. How nice. Great to see you, Tristan. Thanks for jumping in here. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. And as I said, go check out the Creator Community wherever you consume podcasts, and look for season 4 coming out in just a couple of weeks. Have a great weekend.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Steven.